की सेवा प्राप्त करके सदा के लिए सुखी हो जाएंगे। आवागमन का मार्ग सदा के लिए उनका बंद हो जाएगा। दामोदर महाराज।
Krishna Krishna Bhakta Tadavakta Namo Namaha. So Srila Gurudeva is first giving his regards and blessings and well wishes to the people, the organizers of this society. Also he gives his hearty blessings to those who have endeavored very hard to decorate the hall, who've made arrangements for the guests in the form of prasad and edibles. He gives them all their hearty blessings. So Gurudeva says before he begins everything, he offers his pranam to the lotus feet of his Gurudev, Nichilila Parisila Bhakti Pragyan Kesav Goswami Maharaj. Gurudeva said even though so many English people are there, still many Hindi persons are there, and these things are very difficult to explain in English, so Gurudeva is speaking in Hindi. Then he said, why the Supreme Lord has come to this world. In order to fulfill the desires of his various devotees, Krishna had two simultaneous appearances. Most people understand that Sri Krishna appeared in Mathura, but this is not the case. Krishna appeared in both Mathura and in Vrindavan. But there is a difference between both appearances. In Mathura, he appeared in the form in a jail of Kams Maharaj from Devaki. That time he appeared as a 16-year-old youth with 4 hands carrying a lotus flower, a conch shell, a discus and a club decorated with helmets, golden ornaments. That time everyone could understand this is the Supreme Lord appearing with his full opulence or glories. But at the same time in Vrindavan, Krishna had another birth. This was directly from the womb of Yasoda. In Vrindavan he appeared as a very tiny child, very sweet and very attractive. Therefore, in Vrindavan, Krishna appeared complete with even an umbilical cord. That time his father was so happy to have a child that he gave away millions and millions of cows. In fact, he tried to distribute all the wealth that he had. But because the Supreme Lord had appeared in his home, then Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, appeared with him. Therefore, no matter how much charity Nanda Baba distributed in charity on behalf of his son, he could not finish his wealth, and even people became exhausted to come and collect donations from him. That time such a festival of happiness was there in Sri Vrindavan. So, Sri Krishna, the Supreme Original Personality of Godhead, appeared and took birth in Vrindavan with his two-handed form, endowed with unlimited sweetness. There in Vrindavan he performed pastimes like delivering demons such as Putana, Agasur, Bakasur and others. Then he grew up, he matured as we say, and then finally in Vrindavan he performed his pastimes such as Ras Lila. By calling his flute he attracted all the gopis. Then from there he went to Dwarka and performed unlimited activities. But really the question comes, why does the Supreme Lord come to this material world? Because he knows that we are actually his eternal servants. But because of forgetting him, we are rotating in the cycle of birth and death. Forgetting him, we have become bound by ignorance. Therefore, we have been chained to this world. What is the chains of this world? That is this gross material body made of earth, water, fire, air and ether. What are the chains that bind us to this world? This is our attraction to our wife, sons, children, wealth, home, kin, country, etc. Therefore we have forgotten our position as an eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. And now the souls in this world are thinking, I am this body, and what belongs to this body is mine. Therefore old age comes, and finally we have become afflicted by many, many diseases. And all the wealth which we have worked so hard to accumulate at the time of death is taken from us. At the time of death, even $1 we cannot take with us. And our wives, our children, our family members all remain here. And even where we go at the time of death, there is no guarantee. Therefore, and then we even may take birth in lower species of life, like dog, pig, camel. Even we may go to the higher planets or the lower planets. But all are places of birth and death. Therefore the Supreme Lord knows perfectly well, without his service, there can be no enjoyment, no real factual happiness at all. Therefore he comes to this world with this message. O my beloved souls, who are thirsting for enjoyment, looking for happiness everywhere, you should come and offer your hearts completely to me, then you will be happy. Therefore the Supreme Lord comes himself in the form of Sri Krishna, or he appears in the form of his incarnations like Ram, Nrsimhadev, Baman, etc. And sometimes Sri Krishna sends his own devotees who appear in this world in the form of devotees, Gurudeva and the spiritual masters. And Bhagavan and his devotees come with this one message. We are not this body. We are a soul, eternal servants of the Supreme Lord. And forgetting this, we are rotating in this world of birth and death. Therefore, hearing this message, a fortunate person can come to the feet of bona fide spiritual master and from him take initiation in the process of chanting the holy name. Gradually, by the guidance of the spiritual master and by the influence of the name of the Supreme Lord, one develops faith in devotion. As that faith matures, it turns into the stage of preliminary ecstatic love of Godhead called Bhava Bhakti, and finally matures into complete pure love of the Supreme Lord, which is known as Prema Bhakti.
कल करो सो आज करो सो अब पल में परलय होएगी बहुत करोगे.
So Guru is saying we should not waste a second. Some foolish person think, what is good I'll do tomorrow or the day after that. But a good thing we should not do even tomorrow. A good thing we should not even do now. A good thing we should do right immediately at this time. So the Supreme Lord, 5,000 years ago, after performing his different activities, fulfilling the desires for which he appeared in this world, then he disappeared from this material world and returned back to his abode, the spiritual world, the transcendental abode. So at that time when Krishna left, 5,000 years ago, immediately from that time began this present age of darkness called Kali Yuga. Now it's only 5,000 years old, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. At that time, after Krishna left, then tamagun, ignorance, became very, very powerful. At that time, people's natures changed. They forgot their religious activities. Ladies gave up their vows, their religion, their good behavior, and adopted the behavior of low-class persons. Men also gave up their religious practices, began telling lies, all types of bad activities. At that time, the Brahmanas, who were meant to be in charge of the spiritual progress of society, gave up their devotional practices and began chasing after money, 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 brighter than sunshine, sweeter than honey. The temples of the Lord were neglected and broken. That time, Sudras, 10th class, rascals like our present-day politicians, took charge of the country instead of high-thinking personalities. At that time, the saints, 5,000 years ago, could see the influence of this present age of Kali. Therefore, they became afraid and they went to the holy place called Naimisaranya. They collected together and collected the most qualified person. His name was Sri Suta Goswami. And they asked him to be the main speaker. And they asked him this question. O Suta Goswami, Guru Signa Sishasya, you are very, very qualified. You are very affectionate to your spiritual master. From your Gurudev, Sri Sukadeva Goswami, you heard the Vedanta Sutra. And you heard the Akritam Basa, that book which is not compiled by anything. That is the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence of all Vedic literatures, the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, everything. You are very intelligent and you have heard that Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence of all spiritual understanding. Therefore the question they asked, how can our soul be happy? How we can achieve auspiciousness in our lives? So Sri Sukadeva Suta Goswami replied, in the age of Satyuga, in the beginning of the millennium, people had very long lifespans, more than 100,000 years. In the next age, the age of Treta Yuga, people's lifespan was cut into half. That time they lived barely 50,000 years. The age after that was Dwapara Yuga. People lived just an insect-like life of 1,000 years. And now this present age of Kali Yuga, even we cannot find, very hard to find someone who even lives for 100 years. Because people cannot control their senses. They're addicted to drinking, smoking, eating chicken and everything. Therefore their life is very short. We cannot find anyone who lives even to 100 years. So even if, say, someone lives 100 years, 50 years they lose in sleep. 20 years they lose in going to primary school, high school, college, university. In the last age of their life, from 80 to 100, people cannot even sit properly. They cannot even go to the bathroom themselves. Therefore, so many years are lost. Therefore, people only have 5 years in their life. In those 5 years, people get married. They have to have children, do some business, build a house. Therefore, when is the time for devotion? In this present age of Kali Yuga, we can see there is quarrel, hypocrisy, fighting, violence and conflict, disease, denigration in all directions we look. Therefore, the sages never asked, how can my body be pleased? They asked, how my soul can achieve auspiciousness. Therefore, the answer Srila Goswami is given. He said, we should understand, we are not this soul, we are not this body. This body is simply like a plastic bag covered inside its stool, urine, pus, blood, mucus. If you just open a little bit, you can see inside what nice things are there. But this body has a nice covering of skin. Therefore we think this body is everything. But this human form of life is very rare. Even the demigods in the higher planets, they are praying to the Supreme Lord when I can get a chance for the human form of life. Because only this human form of life one can practice spiritual life or devotion. Therefore those persons who act only for the enjoyment of their material body, the Guru said they are very, very foolish and very, very mistaken. This body is not for only material enjoyment, because even animals like pigs and donkeys, they have the same facility for material advancement. Therefore, such a person is considered to be like a donkey. Because at the time of death, we cannot take anything with us. Just like a donkey, he carries many things on his back, but at the end of the day, he cannot eat anything that he carries. In the same way, people who work only for this body, they are also like donkeys. Therefore, Gurudeva said, my dear beloved friends, we should take some time out from our material activities and try to invest some time in our spiritual life. We should try to understand what is the eternal relationship between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul, called God. Therefore the Supreme Lord, He is so kind. He has invested all His potency, all His strength, all His mercy, all His beauty, all His sweetness, He has given in the name. Kali Yuga to keval naam tuada. In this age of Kali Yuga, there is no other process except the process of chanting the holy name. A person who does not take advantage of such a process, they are definitely the most unfortunate. They have been cheated and they are cheating themselves. Guru Maharaj says, because it's very easy and free. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It's free and very easy. You can chant anytime, in the bathroom, driving, cooking, sleeping, walking, talking. You can always chant. Therefore, one should perfect one's human form of life by becoming attracted to this process of chanting the holy name. Therefore, we are in Namasaranya, and the sages inquired from Srila Goswami, please tell us how our soul can be happy, how we can achieve auspiciousness. Therefore, before saying anything, Srila Goswami gave pranam to his spiritual master. His spiritual master was named Sri Sukadeva Goswami. So Gurudeva is telling the history. Who is Sukadeva Goswami? What is his qualification? We always see with Sri Krishna is Srimati Radhika. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. And Srimati Radhika, she is the supreme enjoyed. The female form of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, Sukadeva Goswami, he was the parrot of Srimati Radhika, Krishna's most beloved. He used to sit on the hand of Srimati Radhika, and Srimati Radhika used to feed him pomegranate seeds, some sweet rice, bits of laddu, and she would teach him to chant the name of Krishna. Say Krishna, say Krishna. And the parrot on the hand of Srimati Radhika, she is devotion to Krishna personified. He was also chanting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. But as is the nature of birds, one day he left and went to where Krishna was playing in the garden with his friends like Marumangal. So in India the parrots are green, so that green bird went and sat in a green tree, and Krishna was under that tree, and that bird began singing the name of Krishna that he heard from Srimati Radhika. just in the same voice as Radharani. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Therefore Krishna heard, who is chanting? Is that Radharani? Has she come herself? So much devotion, he is chanting my name. Then he looked, oh, that is not Radharani, that is one bird. In Sanskrit, bird means suk or parrot. Therefore Krishna called that bird onto his hand. Anyone called by Krishna, can he stay away? Therefore that bird came on the hand and Krishna said, you should tell me more kirtan, I want to hear my name. That the bird was chanting all the things he had learned from Srimati Radhika. Therefore, that time, the bird was, Sukadeva Goswami, the bird was thinking, how unfortunate I am. Srimati Radhika, she is the personification of devotion, and I left her to come to Krishna. She used to feed me and give me so much affection. Therefore, anyway, Radharani was feeling very much separation. Where is my favorite parrot gone? Therefore, she sent her friends, Lalita and Vishaka. They began looking everywhere for the bird. Then they saw that suk, that parrot on the hand of Krishna, and they said, that bird does not belong to you. That bird belongs to our mistress, Srimati Radhika. You should return it. And Krishna said, there is no chains, the bird is free to go. But no matter how much they called, the bird would not leave the hand of Krishna. Because Krishna is the supreme attractive. Therefore, Lalita and Vishaka, the friends of Radharani, they went to Madhya Soda and complained, oh, Krishna has stolen the bird which does not belong to him. Therefore Madhya Soda came, and even though Krishna is the Supreme Lord, he is controlled by his devotee. Therefore Madhya Soda grabbed Krishna by the ear and went to beat him, not beating him, but showing her hand. Oh, you are a very dirty boy, always playing with birds, animals, you have no good manners. Therefore she took the bird off him and said, you should go and take bath, your father is waiting for you to take lunch, and she dragged him away. So, the purport is how dear this bird was to both Krishna and Srimati Radhika. Therefore, after Radha and Krishna performed their pastimes 5,000 years ago, then Krishna called that bird and said, you should stay in this world, because people could not understand me. Therefore, you should stay in this material world and you should speak my activities and my philosophy. Then people can perfect their forms of life and achieve pure love for me. Therefore, that parrot was very sad. How I can leave Radha and Krishna? But still, what can I do? Have to follow the order of the Lord. Therefore, Krishna gave him blessing and he stayed in this material world in a human form. His name was Sri Sukadeva Goswami. So, that bird, he cannot live without hearing some names, qualities and pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Therefore, Lord Shiva, you've heard of Lord Shiva, Vaishnavanam Yatasambhu, he is a great devotee. Therefore, he was always in Kailash speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam to his energy, his wife, Parvati Devi. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is 12 sections, and the first few sections of the Bhagavatam deal with so much philosophy of the creation, how the Lord maintains, how he destroys, how his various energies are working. Therefore, as Shiva was speaking this, then Parvati, she was sleeping, because generally people don't like to hear philosophy, they want to hear pastimes of Krishna. Therefore that bird, he knew Shivaji is speaking Bhagavatam, therefore he went in that tree and hid there. And Shiva, he had his eyes closed, he could not understand that his Parvati, his audience was sleeping. Therefore as he was speaking, the bird in the tree was calling, very nice, very good, speak more, don't stop. Therefore Shiva was completely absorbed, speaking, and after some time, imitating the voice of Parvati. Then Parvati woke up, Shiva is speaking Harikatha, and she goes, oh Prabhu, I fell asleep, you can start from the beginning. Start from the beginning, but I could hear you saying, yes, no, very good, speak more. Who is imitating your voice? Then Lord Shiva looked up and saw that same parrot, that same Sukadeva Goswami, Suk. Therefore Shiva became very angry. This unqualified person has heard this pure and spotless Bhagavatam. Therefore he took his weapon, his trident, and went to kill that bird. Then the bird became afraid. It's Armageddon, Armageddon out of here. He ran away to where Vyasadeva was speaking Bhagavatam in Badrik Ashram. Vyasadeva is a literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord. All these books we're reading from, he has compiled. Therefore Vyasadeva was speaking that same Bhagavatam that Lord Shiva was also speaking. And Vyasadeva's wife, she was hearing Bhagavatam in ecstasy. Therefore the bird, he flew in the mouth of Vyasadeva's wife. Then Shiva came very angry. Oh, Vyas, I'm looking for a bird. I want to kill him. Then Vyas was astonished. Lord Shiva, who destroys the 3 worlds, he will destroy a parrot. Then Vyasadeva asked, what offense has the parrot done? Oh, he has heard Bhagavatam. He is not qualified. Therefore, I will kill him. Then Vyasadeva smiled. Oh, Shiva, you know everything, all religious principles. Tell me, what is the result of someone who hears this Bhagavatam? And Shiva said, one becomes immortal. Then Vyasadeva said, if he's already heard the Bhagavatam, how you can kill him? He's already become immortal. Then Shankar went, Haribol, yes, it's true. Therefore, smiling, Shiva left. And 16 years, that bird remained in the womb of the wife of Vyasadeva. After 16 years, then Vyas said, my dear son, it's time to come out. He said, no, I am afraid of material existence. Therefore, I will not come out. I will not appear in this world of illusion, Maya. Therefore, Vyasadeva said, trust my words, I promise you, you come out, I will remove Maya, illusion, you will not be affected. He said, I don't believe you. I only believe the words of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Therefore, Vyasadeva meditated and Krishna himself came there. Oh, Suk, come out, I am Krishna myself. You should have faith in my words, illusion will not touch you. Therefore, Krishna took away his illusory energy. That time, Sukadeva Goswami appeared in human form. And what did he do? Immediately he left his mother and father and went to the forest. That time his father, Vyasadeva, he was thinking, such a qualified son. He has no material attachment. When a child is born, then crying, mommy, 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 father. No, nothing. Without any attachment, he went to the forest. Therefore Vyasadeva was thinking, I have many disciples, but no one is qualified like him. I want to give him this Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore Vyas ran behind him, putreti, putreti, mayataru. Oh, my son, come back. But the trees answered, son? Who is son? Who is father? This is all illusion. Therefore, as Sukadeva Goswami was going in the forest, Vyasadeva was chasing him. They came to the gardens of Kuver, one god in charge of rupees, god of wealth. Therefore, there were many ladies in that pond taking bath. They were taking bath without any clothes, very beautiful young girls. But Sukadeva Goswami, he never even paid them any attention. Guru Maharaj says, like a tree. A tree has no feelings. Who is man, woman, anything? Only he knew Sarva Karava Midam Brahman. Everything is the energy of the Supreme Lord. Everything is Brahman. Therefore, Sukadeva Goswami went past him, and those girls who would normally feel shy, they thought, oh, he is not seeing us at all. Therefore, they did not feel shy at all. Then Vyasadeva came running, long beard, like your grandfather's grandfather, so old. Then the girls became shy and covered themselves. Then Vyasadeva said, what's going on? My boy is 16 years old, beautiful, tall, naked. And you saw him, you felt no shyness. But I am like your grandfather's grandfather, so old. And when you saw me, you felt shyness. What's going on? Then the girl said, you see the difference between man and woman. But your son, he sees no difference. Therefore, when we saw him, we felt no shyness. Therefore, Gurudeva said, this is the 2 qualifications of Sukadeva Goswami. First qualification, he is a very dear, eternal associate of Radha and Krishna. And his second qualification, that birth and this birth, he had completely no material attachment. Therefore, immersed in Brahmananda, the impersonal aspect of the Supreme Lord, in ecstasy, he went on into the forest. Therefore, hearing the questions of the sages of Namisaranya, Sutta Goswami gave pranam to his guru. How qualified was his guru, Sukadeva Goswami? How he was renounced? How he was expert in all philosophical conclusions? But not only that, how much he was full of the nectar of the names, forms and qualities of Sri Krishna. Such a guru, he bowed again and again, remembering him within his mind, and he answered the questions of the sages. The question was, remember, how we can achieve auspiciousness for my soul, how I can be happy. Therefore, Sutta Goswami replied, Savai pumsam paro dharma yatir bhaktiya doksaje hoitiki apatiyata jyavnat samprasidati. Which means that only humans are qualified for pure devotion. No. All moving and non-moving entities, their one supreme religion or occupation or dharma is what? pure devotion, bhakti. Bhakti, how is that Sri Krishna? That Sri Krishna is completely transcendental. He transcends the mind, the mental and the sensual platform. Therefore, He is beyond the mind. He is beyond the senses. He is beyond the power of speech. He is beyond even the Vedas, the scriptures. Even though the scriptures try to describe the Supreme Lord, He is so unlimited, even they cannot completely describe. That Krishna, how is He? He is completely non-material. He is Natabad. He is like an actor on a stage, an expert dancer. He plays the flute very sweetly. He performs wonderful pastimes with His devotees like the gopis. He is ecstasy personified, and He gives ecstasy to all. And by His beauty and qualities, He bewilders the minds and attracts the minds of everyone. Therefore, devotion should be performed to that adoxaj Krishna. That devotion should be ahoitiki, means it should have no material motive. The only reason why we're performing devotion is only for the happiness of Krishna. Therefore, that religion, or our main duty, is to give that type of service to the Supreme Lord without desire for remuneration. Therefore, even though there are many demigods like Brahmaji, Ganeshji, Shankar, Parvati, so many, still, if we look carefully, they cannot be the complete form of Bhagavan, endowed with 6 opulences: wealth, knowledge, beauty, strength, renunciation and fame. All those 6 qualities are only completely present in Sri Krishna. Therefore, Sri Krishna alone is the Supreme Lord. He is Bhagavan. He is Advaigyan Paratattva. Means He is the non-dual absolute truth. In other words, nothing is separate from Him. Therefore, that Supreme Lord, Krishna, He appeared 500 years ago in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And all these teachings He inspired in the heart of His dear devotee named Sri Rupa Goswami. Therefore, all these we're reading from are the teachings of Sri Rupa Goswami. Therefore, if we want to perform devotion, we should know what is devotion. Sri Rupa Goswami has given a wonderful definition. Anya bilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavitam anukulena krishnanu silanam bhakti utama. Gurudeva says, really, if we take all the other definitions of bhakti that have been given, all are included in this definition of Sri Rupa Goswami Pad. Therefore, what does it mean? One should perform devotion by all the endeavors of one's body, mind, words and feelings, sentiments, for the happiness of Krishna. One should accept what is favorable for his enjoyment, and one should reject what is not favorable for his enjoyment. One should perform devotion to Him in an unbroken stream. Not like half an hour in the morning, Haribol, then 23 hours forgetting. Like a stream of honey comes from a jar in an unbroken stream, the body, mind, words and soul should be performed in an unbroken stream for the happiness of Krishna. But more than that, it should be done under the expert guidance of a perfected spiritual master. Otherwise your devotion may come off the rails. Then this is called Uttam Bhakti, or the topmost form of devotion. That Uttam Bhakti will not be mixed with anything else. It will be pure. It will not, that person who is performing Uttam Bhakti or devotion to Krishna should have no ulterior motives. He should not desire anything material or spiritual in exchange for his service. Devotion should not be covered by karma, fruitive activities. It means I'll do this activity and I will get this result. You'll be so busy in that you'll have no time for devotion. Therefore, karma should not cover devotion. And jnana should not cover devotion. Jnana means, some people think we are all the Supreme Lord. But if everyone is God, then how you can do service to Krishna? Therefore, that jnana, that type of knowledge may cover devotion. Therefore, fruitive activity and knowledge should not cover devotion. Therefore, we should take a lesson from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and we should not be like Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva worshipped the Supreme Lord, but he had a desire, I want my own universe. So we should not be like that. Gurudeva said, we should understand clearly what is this pure devotion. So Gurudeva is here for 1 week, and every night for 1 week he will try to explain to us what is the pure devotion? Otherwise we may practice something which is not pure devotion and we cannot get the result. Guru Maharaj gives an example of someone performing devotion for material benefits. There's one guy, he goes to the temple and he buys a sweet for Lord Shiva. That sweet is the cheapest one. It costs maybe 1 rupee, 10 New Zealand cents. Or maybe he buys the cheapest incense he can find in the market. He goes to the temple and he offers that to Lord Shiva. That incense is worth maybe 10 cents, 20 cents. And what's he asking for? Hey Shiva, give me a son, give me a wife, give me a new wife, give me a new car. My business may be successful. My son, he may have a son. I may be a grandfather. My government should not find out about my secret bank accounts. He's asking many, many things from...
Ask not give sweet. Ask if he open, then I give you sweet.
First he's keeping the sweet to himself because God not giving, then he's not giving his sweet. Therefore Guru Maharaj said this is not devotion. Because instead of serving God, you're making God your servant. Therefore this is not the symptom of pure devotion. Go Premanandi.